Hey guys, how's it going? Max here in our second episode of Unicorn Ads. So today we're going to look at something pretty cool, which is I had this kind of idea of obviously each session looking at ads. That was obviously the initial premise, and then I thought, well, maybe it's more valuable if I just just look at like a specific brand each time, a specific website, specific e-com store, whatever it might be. Look at a specific company that's doing really, really well, that has a huge online presence, that's growing really fast, and let's look at their ads on their page, go through it, see what they're doing right, see what they're doing wrong. And that seemed like a good idea. And then I was like, well, what if I take it a step further? Because one of the businesses I want to talk about tonight, I saw because I was Googling another business from a time Ezra Firestone did a show, his kind of show where he buys the product, goes through the whole landing page. I'm not that advanced. I'm looking at the ads. Ezra goes through everything. But I was like, well, why don't I just compare the two? Why don't we look at two companies that are both doing really well, that are both growing really rapidly, that are both kind of movers and shakers in the industry, disrupting big behemoths. And let's look at them and see kind of what they're both doing great, because you're going to see two different perspectives. And then also let's compare the two of them. So let's see, which ones are doing better than the other, essentially. And so we're going to get started with that. That sounds interesting, right? Like this is a pretty new idea that I want to do of kind of looking at ads. It's something that I have always done frequently in terms of auditing ads for students and just people in general. And I think it just, I don't know why it says sorry, the privacy setting on this post means you can't share it on Maxwell Thin Timeline. That's interesting. Let me see if I can post a unicorn IQ, or let's post it to that page. But anyway, so I figured let's do it for companies, right? This gives me more kind of more ammo and more stuff to talk about. So I think it's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be fun. I'm curious to know what everyone else is going to think of it. Obviously, this could be a huge winner. It could be a loser, whatever. But at the end of the day, I really want everyone's feedback. That's the most important thing. So if you guys like this format, let me know. If you hate it, let me know. Either way, I'm just happy you guys are here watching this, and hopefully we cover some interesting things. So the reason this whole let me hide this real quick. This whole, I even found Quip and Goby and compared the two is because I was kind of doing some research on smart toothbrushes, because now everything's intelligent, everything's more advanced, everything's smarter, and I saw one of the single best, I think, Google ads, search ads that I've ever seen. I'm going to show it to you in just a second. What's weird is I don't know why Facebook's giving me such a hard time on this privacy. That's why. There we go. So my default was to do this to only my friends, which I hate Facebook did that. So it wasn't letting me share it. So now it makes sense. Now we can share it. And now the public can see, the masses, right? Because the 4 or 5 of you, that's the masses. But I'm also testing doing this for my personal page instead of my business page. Because I usually do for my brand page and I share it to my personal page. I'm going to do it vice versa just to see the difference in reach, difference in visibility. So this may be like a one-off. We'll see. But yeah, so I was Googling Quip, and because I heard about it, I thought it was pretty cool. So I was Googling it, and I stumbled across this ad. Now let me, okay, that's enough sharing. I'm going to go back. I'm going to go over here. All right, let me share my screen. Go down. Okay. So I Googled Quip, and obviously the number one, the two search ads is for Quip, but right here is what caught my attention. So the number 3 result is titled, "Do not buy that toothbrush. First, read these 2018 reviews." And this is obviously an ad for Goby, their competitor. And this is why I tell a lot of people. So a lot of brands we might work with and clients of ours are just consulting relationships. I was like, why Why would I, get branded search essentially? Like, why would I bid on my own brand name when I'm already going to be first in organic results? Well, that's true. You're probably going to be first in organic results, but you don't want this to happen. So what can happen is your competition could basically, if you're not bidding on your own name and you're not competing there, they can just, do this essentially. So Goby essentially saw an opportunity, and they bought the ad, the search ad there, and it's got a high ranking, and they built a dedicated landing page to why people choose Goby over Quip. And it's great because this is like early on in the discovery process. People might have heard of Quip in the same way I did, right? I heard about it, I Googled it to learn more, and one of my first interactions with the brand was Goby. And as a marketer, I'm like, that's cool. I'm gonna check out Goby. And so I haven't bought either yet, but I'm probably leaning more towards Goby than Quip. We'll see how I end up making the purchase. But anyway, it's a great landing page. It has comparisons between Goby and Quip, the rating, the price points, the reviews, the difference, all this stuff. So it's just and what I like about it too is the call to action. Like, a lot of people take the call to action for granted. People get lazy with the call to actions. Like, just the psychology, the subtleness of this, upgrade to Goby. So instead of saying, you could just say buy now or shop now or buy a Goby or whatever, they're saying upgrade to Goby. And because they're using the word upgrade, they're implying that it is a superior product to Quip or whatever product you're using out there right now. That says a lot. Whether it hits you consciously or subconsciously, you're registering that, and that's having an impact. And their main review from Wirecutter, a New York Times company, is basically saying we prefer the Goby over the weaker Quip subscription brushes, which only vibrate softly like cheaper Oral-B. So super powerful stuff. I just thought that was really, really interesting. So what we're going to do right now is I have two windows open. I have Goby's page over here, and I have Quip over here. So these are the two players in the space. They're relatively similar. I don't know their numbers. I don't know the revenue. I don't know anything like that. But they're, relatively similar age companies. They, are relatively similar size, it looks like, from social. I think Quip's a little bigger. Quip's got verified. It's got that going for it. But we're going to assume that a lot of other things are pretty consistent. They both have a lot of things going for them. They're both innovative. They're both disrupting an older industry that has been dominated by just a few companies for decades and decades and decades, being Crest and Colgate and Oral-B in these companies. So let's start with Goby. Let's go through Goby's ads first and just get a feel for the type of ads they're running, the type of angles they're taking, the type of copy and creative they're taking, where are some strong points, and then where are some weaknesses they could definitely improve on. So what I noticed when I went through here initially is a heavy emphasis on third-party validation from both high authority publications and customers. So I noticed a lot of their copy and a lot of their overall ads feature a New York Times quote. It features their reviews, their number of 5-star reviews. They have the fact that 95% 5-star reviews, the fact that it's award-winning. So here's, again, the New York Times. This is a photo from an actual customer of theirs. This is a Business Insider. So very little copy that actually even talks about the product. So most of the copy here is just straight quotes. They're just snipping quotes from a high authority page, pasting it, and then they're doing a lot of their talking, maybe the headline or on the landing page. But on the ad itself, it's very, very light. It's not content heavy. And there's advantages to that, right? We have short attention spans. So for things like toothbrushes or lower price impulse buy daily essentials, you don't need to write an essay, right? We're not selling a $5,000 or $2,000 course here. We're not selling some new innovative product that requires education or training. So people really don't need to know how a toothbrush works. People don't really need to know that, like, this toothbrush oscillates 2 times faster than Oral-B's toothbrushes, right? A lot of people are going to make a decision based on the cool factor, right? Is this cooler? Is this trendy right now? Does it look good? And at the end of the day, is it most effective, right? It's going to give me the best brush of my life, right? So yeah, again, this is probably the first ad I saw that actually has kind of testimonial UGC copy, adulting when you get excited about a toothbrush, which is kind of interesting, kind of fun. Feel the buzz. They got some puns in there, which is subtle and interesting. Again, that word upgrading oral care routine for healthier mouth. This is where people make a lot of mistakes. This is like a very simple mistake, but it is a mistake people make. Is like, you should never have a scenario where your newsfeed description runs out of space like this, unless you're intentionally doing it to have a curiosity opener to kind of open that loop. A lot of people just don't check this, and it might work on desktop. It doesn't fit on mobile. It might not fit either. Like right here, this just gets cut off, and it's because they're using both the kind of vanity URL and the newsfeed description, not one. And so it cuts it off there instead of giving you more room. Again, not a huge deal, but little things like that do make an impact. You know, the one thing that I think is interesting about Goby for how creative they were, and feel free, anybody watching right now, feel free to ask questions. If you want me to audit your ads, drop the link in there and I'll audit my next live I do. But and just to give your thoughts too. What I find interesting though is I had my the bars set pretty high with Goby because of how creative that search ad was, and the fact that they have this beautiful website, a beautiful product. The landing page is really well designed, and so I kind of expected some really solid creative assets, some really solid videos, some better photos, and really there's nothing in here that really stands out, and it's unfortunate. They're using a lot of the same images. A lot of the images are very, you know, kind of focus on color and standing out via color and contrasting colors around, really like focusing on the design of the product. And I think that's fine to a point, but the problem is, like, brushing your teeth is a very personal, kind of intimate daily ritual that we do, right? Everybody brushes their teeth, and we're usually looking at ourselves when we're brushing our teeth. We're usually in the mirror, and so we kind of associate like seeing people when we brush our teeth, right? You're not kind of just like blindly looking down at the sink. And so I like to see a lot more UGC in the actual ads, or even just some better produced video creatives that actually feature some influencers, some customers, some even actors, whoever, even staff, for, you know, all I care, using the product, right? Maybe it's a stop motion type video. It could be an unboxing video. There's a lot of angles they could take here to really make this stand out, because like this is their videos. They're kind of GIFs, just alternating colors. And honestly, it's pretty boring. It's not very exciting. It doesn't grab my attention. It doesn't hold my attention. And it doesn't like yell or scream like, I need this toothbrush, right? At least just based on what I'm seeing right now. Now, I do like what they're doing, some of the copy towards the bottom here, where, you know, this is kind of a great quote from BuzzFeed. Again, they have a lot of great authority in terms of reviews, testimonials that they have in spades, and that's effective. But that can only get you so far, right? Just having a ton of testimonials and quotes isn't going to automatically just sell you your product, right? It's a tool. It's going to help. But alone, it's not going to make or break a campaign. I do like the headline here, you know, discover the Warby Parker of toothbrushes. I think comparisons are effective, especially if somebody's not familiar with the brand. But if somebody, you know, a lot of people are familiar with Warby Parker. They're a very big company now. And so if, you know Warby Parker, this is a instant association your brain's making. Okay, they're like the Warby Parker of toothbrushing. I love Warby Parker. They're cool. They're innovative, they're trendy. They have a great business model. I love their product and service, whatever it is. Like, these guys are just like that. And here's a quote from BuzzFeed talking about it, which is very, very effective in relating better to the product for me. Fresh guarantee. Try Goby risk free for 60 days. Feel the buzz. Feel the buzz. Real Goby electric toothbrush reviews. Read reviews from real Goby users. They really like our brushes. So they're having some fun here. That's for sure. I definitely think they're having fun with their ads. But at the same time, it's like, feature some of them, right? So if I was creating this ad in this video, I would have photos of actual customers popping up with testimonials scrolling across the bottom with little quotes popping up on the screen. Like, that is such a missed opportunity here for Goby, where, hey, we're telling you both in the copy and the headline that we're going to tell you about all these amazing reviews we have, but you got to realize, like, you still need them to click that button to get to those reviews. So why would you just bank on only 2 to 3 to 4% of those people actually seeing the reviews? Because that's going to be your click-through rate ideal. Most of the ads are going to have that click-through rate. So make sure that the other, 96% still see some reviews, still see some actual customers. Because again, like, not everybody is going to click the first ad that's going to become a buyer, right? I might see the ad, watch the video, not click, and you'll be retargeting me down the road and I might buy then. So you still need to focus on, well, okay, I can't do all my selling just based on clicks. I need to also bring my A game to the feed when they're not going to click. So I need to be doing some selling, some objection blocking in the feed for all the people that watch the video or look at the ad, but don't click that very first engagement. So that's an ad I would definitely be running here, is actual people, either photos or quick videos with testimonials and reviews kind of popping on the screen. So, hey, if they click the ad and they can see a whole library, great. If they don't, they still get a feel for it and they still get to see the, the reviews and everything. And again, I think, it's clear they're having fun with the brand. Like, they're definitely having a lot of fun with it. Thank you from your mouth. But they don't push it as far as like Purple. So Purple Mattress, they have fun with their brand, and their ads really reflect it. Like, they have really funny videos. They really push the boundaries. They're super witty. They bring a lot of energy to their ads. They don't just kind of selectively bring that. Got it. So yeah, I mean, overall, I wasn't as impressed with Goby's ads, to be honest. I don't know if you guys agree with me, but definitely I think there's a ton of room for improvement here, from everything from the creative to the amount of testing they're doing to just bringing more of the experience into the ad and depending less on the person actually getting there. Okay, so that's Goby. Now I'm going to pull over Quip, and let's take a look at Quip's active ads. So again, Quip is using a very similar angle to Goby, which is we're gonna leverage big names you recognize to give us authority. So Goby was using Business Insider, New York Times. Quip was a Times Invention of the Year, which this obviously holds a lot more weight than a quote from the New York Times or Business Insider or BuzzFeed. Being a Times Invention of the Year definitely gives you a very, very high standard. So that's a very powerful statement. Let's see the video real quick. So even honestly, something like this, while it still doesn't have people in it, is still much more engaging and fun and entertaining than anything in Goby. So like right off the bat, it's a better start in my opinion. Regarding the it's amazing that I always get messages when I'm doing these lives. Like, I get messages throughout the day, but I usually get the most while I'm doing lives. It's like people at radar on. So here's another one. Brush better with Quip. Good vibes that help clean your mouth right. 9% of us don't brush long enough. So these are great. So basically what they're doing with these videos is, and just to be clear, I have no association with these brands, so this is totally unbiased. Like, I don't own either of them, and I don't know anybody at them. These are just looking at the ads, comparing apples to apples. So what Goby didn't do is, like, Goby didn't in any of their ads really hone in on a differentiator of the product. They included like other people talking about it, but none of the images, none of the creative like hit on what makes our product unique. Like, why do you need our product? What pain point is there that maybe you're not even aware of with your existing toothbrush that our toothbrush solves? That was not made clear in any of the ads. And as an advertiser, especially if you're entering a very mature market with some established big players, you need to come in there and really figure out what is that unique selling proposition. What is that thing that I'm going to focus on that sets me apart from all the big players that they're just missing and is going to allow me to capture a large amount of market share, right? So for Dollar Shave Club, for example, they entered a market which basically was just like a monopoly, and Gillette and the big razor companies were charging obscene amounts of money for razors. You still pay a lot of money for razors. And they saw an opportunity. They're like, hey, it doesn't cost that much to make razors. The economics of it doesn't, they're just charging it because that's what everyone charges. They don't need to have lower prices. They came in and said, well, what we're going to do is we're going to create a monthly subscription where it's $1. We're going to set a low price point. We're going to be convenience. We're going to send it to your door, and we're going to do it at a better price. So you don't have to go to the store anymore to go through all the razors and pick all the options, confusing too many choices, and you don't have to pay an arm and a leg anymore. So they found two huge pain points that the big players didn't care about because there was no other options, and they hammered on that. They focus on that and focus on that and focus on that. You can do the same thing with Casper, right? Casper had their, delivered to your door in a little box, sleep on it for 100 nights. If you don't like it, send it back, right? So most matches up until then, you had to go to a store, you had to deal with a salesperson, you had to then figure out how to get it to your place. It was usually giant, that carried up steps. It was a pain in the ass. And then if you wanted to return it, it was another pain in the ass. Casper found out what are we going to focus on, and they did that. So that's what exceptional new players into a market with a lot of incumbents do and understand. And so from Goby, I don't see that in any of their ads. With Quip, and what I like about these ads too is they're very short and to the point. Like these ads are like 5-10 seconds, which is great. Facebook really doesn't want you running anything more than that. So they're in that short time frame with our attention deficit disorder we all have. But they're hitting you with a really great fact, which is, hey, 90% of us don't brush long enough, which is a crazy stat. Basically, that 90% of people don't brush their teeth long enough. Okay, that's a crazy stat. How do we handle that? Because there's we all might know that, but how do we actually fix it? Because it's one thing just to state a problem. If you're going to state a problem and agitate, you need to offer up a solution that's compelling. And so their solution is, hey, we actually, in our toothbrush, once you start brushing, it'll then vibrate when 2 minutes are done. It's like a built-in timer into it. So here, problem agitation, offering a solution, all within 10 seconds of a video. So already it's off to a great start. Some basic image ads here. Again, hitting on time's best invention. What's interesting, a lot of both Quip and Goby do not like featuring faces. Showing a picture of a customer with a face is so much more powerful than a customer without a face, right? It's like, because that can be anybody. Once you put a face to a name or a face to a picture, it just really, really amplifies its effectiveness. Because everybody's going live at this time. They have some comparison charts here. Okay, let's see. This is another video they have. Created by dentists and designers. Okay, so that video, again, it's a little misleading. It says, find out why Quip electric toothbrush was named Time's Best Inventions. You expect the video to talk about it. The video doesn't talk about it, which is okay. That video is still solid. Here's another one. And this is why it's also important to have a really good cover photo. A lot of people, when they run video ads, they're not testing cover photos. And that's so important. What's that thumbnail going to be? Because a lot of people, they don't autoplay videos. And so if all you have is a clip from the video as the thumbnail, that's not engaging, just like a person, you're not going to be able to click it. So having something that clearly gets people to click it is important with the video. So let's see. This is pointing at another problem, which is most people brush their teeth wrong. That's interesting. I want to know more. Okay, you can brush too hard. You can brush unevenly. You cannot brush long enough. You cannot brush often enough. You don't change your toothbrush bristles enough. That's a problem. You don't go to the dentist enough. So these are all brands. Most brands aren't focused on fixing bad habits, which is true. These are all problems that if you fixed, you'd have better oral health. But what they're pointing out is that a lot of the big players like Oral-B and Crest and Colgate, they don't really care if you change your habits. They just want you to buy their toothpaste and toothbrush. They're not trying to change your behavior. They're not trying to make, do anything differently. They're just like, as long as you keep buying from us, we're okay with whatever you want to do. We're not going to innovate in our products to fix these problems. So they're kind of calling out the incumbents, which is great because it's easier to sell with. And this is also great. So they're basically pointing out how there's a lot of marketing ploys in the oral care industry, which is true, right? Anytime you go to the oral care section at a CVS or Walgreens or a supermarket, there's like 50 versions of the same Crest toothpaste. One has 3 times odor blocking. One has 5 times whitening. One's got 2 times whitening. One's got active whitening and gum protect. Like, it's crazy. They're all over the place, and you don't know which one to pick. It's so confusing. They confuse you by so much that they end up making you just choose the one that has the best margins, right? What they'll do is they'll throw out like all these individual ones. Like this one's got, the whitening boost, and this one's got the gum protection. And then they'll conveniently at eye level put the one that's got all of them. It's got the gum protection, the white, all that in it, and it's just $2 more. And you usually end up picking that one. So they're saying, hey, instead of marketing gimmicks, why don't we actually fix the problem? So they're focusing on basically giving not just being a toothbrush, but fixing bad behaviors. So addressing the problems, and they're doing it for you basically. Reminders, rewards for the dentist. So this is a really solid video. It clearly agitates the problem again, illustrates the solution, talks about why you need the solution. This is another great angle in terms of credibility and authority. It's the first ever subscription electric toothbrush accepted by the American Dental Association, which is powerful. This is a BuzzFeed article. So this is smart. So they're driving traffic to an actual BuzzFeed article about their product. And so this is what's powerful, guys. I think a lot of people forget that you don't need to send successful online, right? Some of the biggest brands out there and the most kind of rapidly growing brands, successful brands out there are allocating a good chunk of their ad budget to ads like this that are built around brand awareness, building credibility, authority, thought leadership, problem agitation, all of those angles. So when they do hit you with a sales ad, that audience is super primed, and you're going to have much, much higher conversion rates, higher quality score. Everything's going to be better because we're going after a much more primed audience. Here's another one that they're driving it to, the reviews. So they're, instead of just putting reviews on the website, they're actually driving traffic to those reviewers. And the other great thing about that is those companies love that, right? If you're paying money to send traffic to BuzzFeed.com or other websites, they're going to like you, right? Hey, you're basically spending your money to send people to our website. Maybe we'll do a follow-up review. Maybe we'll, do a contest. Like there's so many things they can do because you're giving to them, right? They did a testimonial review. You're giving them traffic. It's a great relationship instead of just being one-sided, which is, hey, they give you a great review. You just take that review and try to make as much money as possible with it, which is what most companies do. Let's see what this one is. Finally, a better toothbrush. So this one kind of, again, just hits on the features, core benefits, problems with existing products, all that good stuff. What makes Quip better? Here's some Instagram story ads they're running, I think. It says a swipe up. Yeah. So these are story placements. This is a great headline right here on the video. 3 out of 4 of us use a dirty toothbrush today. Gets you thinking, right? Okay. So let's pull this up. So I think what two things to take away from today. So the first is that I'm going to go back to broadcasting these on my public figure page and then sharing, because the viewership's much higher when I do it that way. So that's number one. A/B test, right? You got to test things. And two, I think it's pretty clear that Quip is the superior Facebook advertiser. Obviously, I don't have their back end data. I don't see their CRMs. I don't know which one has the higher ROAS, so I could be off. But from a pure kind of expert view of what makes really good Facebook ads, high converting Facebook ads, from the psychology to the structure to the framing to the problem, all that, to the budget breakdown at a high level, because I can see Quip is running different types of content, different types of funnel just from this view. It looks like Quip is doing a lot more right than Goby's doing. So the only difference, in my opinion, that could make it so Goby's winning ROAS wise is Goby just either is a beast at targeting their landing page and websites better, or they have a lot more data or something like that, or A/B testing more, which it doesn't look like they are. But that's the only variables I could see them not, that I could see Quip not being superior performer when it comes to Facebook ads, which is interesting because my hopes were really high for Goby because of that Google ad that I saw. And so I came into this thinking Goby was going to clearly have the better Facebook ad because of the way they're advertising Google, super creative, super innovative. And I didn't see that translating on Facebook. At the end of the day, Quip has more creative. They're running more video. They're running the right length of video. It's short, 5-10 seconds. It's catchy. It agitates a single problem, offers a solution. They're focusing on driving traffic to reviews and content to get warmer traffic in the funnel. What I will say with both brands, both are missing UGC. They're heavily focused on the review and the testimonial, but I didn't see a single customer photo, like a good customer photo from either of them. A simple, like I look at Wanderer bracelets. They do an exceptional job of getting UGC. They make these really cool bracelets from Bali that are made out of water buffalo bone. And this is a coordinates bracelet, which has this. Actually, we lost a coordinates bracelet. This is an initial bracelet, but the coordinates bracelet features a location, a coordinate, and I have where I proposed to Larissa. So it's meaningful, and they have tons of photos of couples holding hands with their coordinate bracelets. They have an insane amount of UGC, and almost all of their ads feature this powerful imagery, right? Because at the end of the day, people are people. We're customers. So we relate more with other people like us. And so using that type of imagery and video in your ads is so effective. It doesn't have to be exclusively UGC, right? I think like Quip, for example, the style of video I really like. I think it's fun. I think it fits their brand. It's great. But working in some photos of like, I think what could be great is like if they took a married couple and they had a video or photo of them like in the mirror brushing their teeth with Quip in the morning, husband and wife, and they could have some type of angle, get the perfect, or a couple of brushes together stays together or something like that. We're pushing, how the fact that Quip brings people together in the morning, and that experience of bringing together a husband and a wife, a girlfriend and a boyfriend in the morning, and with over brushing their teeth, the first thing they do together, and having a video and a photo of that could be a great angle. Having a photo or a video of like a whole family in the bathroom, like in the chaos, but like brushing their teeth and everything kind of calms down while they brush it. A family that brushes together is happy together. I mean, there's a lot of possibilities because everybody brushes their teeth. It's a daily ritual. It's usually the first thing we do in the morning. It's the last thing we do at night. And so there's so much room for both of these companies to leverage that positive association we have with that activity, because it's us starting our day, us ending our day. And there's so much built around that. I think next episode, I'm open for suggestions on comparisons, companies to look at. So if you guys have suggestions for, hey, look at this company versus this company, Coke versus Pepsi, Apple versus Google, Casper versus Purple, which I'm thinking about doing them next, Uber versus Lyft. I think there's a lot of angles, a lot of verses that we can do. So I am open to suggestions. And like I said, next episode we'll be doing from my brand page, because the personal page to the other pages just didn't get nearly the same reach as it does from the brand page to the other pages. So that's what we got next week. Let me know in the comments which verses you want to do, what companies I should look at. And if you want me to audit your ad on a next or upcoming Unicorn Ads episode, let me know. Drop the link in the comments, and I will get to them as I can and try to do one each episode. Awesome. Well, thanks, everybody. Hope you have a great day.